Well, I got to tell you, this is a first. We've got 3 people in our studio that are all about cuddling. Jason O'Brien. Jason, good morning.
Good morning.
And Jason is a guy who made a documentary called Cuddle, the Documentary. Embrace the Healing Power of Touch. And we've also got Tracy Gilliam. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
Now you facilitate cuddling parties?
I do.
So like group cuddling?
Not always.
No?
Sometimes it's individual, but it's in a group, and it's a workshop, boundaries and communication workshop centered around touch.
Okay. And then we've also got Amy McKnight, who is a cuddle professional.
Yes.
Well, welcome, everybody. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
All right. Jason, I want to start with you. You made the documentary, and then we're going to get to the cuddle ladies. When did you first come across cuddling, and how did you become interested in this?
It was actually through Tracy, who was facilitating cuddle parties here in Birmingham, and she had mentioned them to me, and I knew nothing about them. Like, I had no idea what it was. Like,
Okay, now when Tracy and you guys knew each other prior to all this, and how did you know each other?
We actually did a film together. She was in a film that I directed back in 2004.
Which has nothing to do with cuddling.
Yeah, does have nothing to do with it, yeah.
What was that film about, just out of curiosity?
It's a romantic comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So all of a sudden, you guys are hanging out, and you're friends, and she whips out, hey, I throw cuddle parties. and your first reaction?
I was like, I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of it.
Right.
I had this image of like I'd just come in and I'd be cuddled immediately by people. So I think because of like,
oh my gosh, look who's here, Jason. Cuddle.
So I had no idea about it, but I was curious about it.
Okay.
I was curious to find out more. And then she asked me again about 2-3 years ago. And that's when it really got into my head that, wow, this could really make a good documentary, that people have a lot of perceptions about it. I would ask people about it, and they would be like, wow, I've never heard of that, but I have a lot of questions. So I was like, that seems like a good idea for a film.
All right, Tracy, when you first sprung all this on him, how did it come up? What did you say to him? Like, hey, by the way, I'm into something a little different here. I want to tell you about it.
Well, I really thought that he would enjoy it. And
well,
so
who doesn't enjoy a good cuddle? I mean, right?
Right. So I asked him, come to a cuddle party, and he was very resistant.
Did you think she's hitting on you? Come on, be honest.
No, I knew Tracy. So.
Okay.
He was very resistant. It was.
That was a lot of people might be at first.
Exactly. It's the people that come to cuddle parties they're brave, because all of a sudden you're sitting in the middle of 10 or 15 people. You're all wearing pajamas, and it's scary.
Do these pajamas have feet in them? And
sometimes.
Bunny ears?
Sometimes.
Yeah. So full pajamas. I mean, we're talking everybody's covered up.
Like a T-shirt and lounge pants is the best thing to wear.
Perfect.
And, we tell people, think comfy, not sexy.
Okay. Yeah. Because this doesn't go beyond cuddling. There's no kissing.
No.
There's no sex in all of this. I mean, it is what it is. Now, Amy McKnight, you're a professional cuddler.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you look very nice today, by the way.
Thank you.
But what you're wearing today was a nice dress, and
yes.
You've got stockings on, and you look very nice. But you would not cuddle in this
absolutely not
attire you're in right now.
No, I would not.
One might believe that we're going further than cuddling.
Exactly.
Okay. So how did you become a professional cuddler, and how long have you been doing this?
My first cuddle was December 6th. I answered an ad on Craigslist.
Like a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I answered an ad on Craigslist. I was looking for a job. Mm-hmm. My background is in nursing.
Okay.
So it was posted in a health area.
Right.
So I was looking, and I thought, oh my gosh, this sounds like me. This sounds like something I would be good at. I did my research.
Right.
I actually read some articles about cuddle parties. I read, at that time I didn't know about Jason's documentary.
Mm-hmm. So this has been going on for a while, this whole cuddle thing.
Right.
And it's all around across the country, right? It's just not here in Birmingham.
Well, it is now with CuddleFix.com.
CuddleFix.com, and
yes.
that's who you work with.
Yes, with Aaron Hine.
So anybody could go to CuddleFix.com and schedule a cuddle session now. Do you come to the house, or do they come to you?
Either or.
Either or.
What I'm comfortable with and what they're comfortable with.
I got to ask you, how many cuddles have you done so far?
Oh, my goodness.
You like it one a day? I mean, what, 3-4 day? I mean, 3 or 4 a week?
I've had one day where I had 5 sessions, but that's too much.
That's a lot of cuddling.
Yes, it is.
And I would imagine the last guy in line is like, wow, got a lot of cologne all over you.
No.
What's
There's
going on?
no.
No?
my background is in nursing. I'm very particular with hygiene and
sure, well,
and yeah,
as you ought to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So all right.
No.
So a guy, lines it up. You invite him. You say, okay, well, you come to my place, which I would think might be a little safety issue. How do you know you don't get a creep coming over, and all of a sudden now he knows where I live? And I mean, what about security and safety?
Well, with CuddleFix, we are very careful with our safety process.
Right.
We check on our Cuddle Pros before and after every session.
Okay.
They also have to register.
So it's kind of like Uber. You got some background information on these people.
Absolutely. Credit card
before they show up. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. I've got to have some more of this. We're going to talk more about people that you cuddle with, people that have had good experiences, and what the purpose of all of this is, and why people do this, and maybe a funny or bizarre story as well. Coming up, stay with us. News Radio 105.5 WERC and JT. We are back with our friends from the cuddling world from CuddleFix.com. Amy McKnight is here. She's a professional cuddler. Tracy Gilliam hosts Cuddle Parties. And Jason O'Brien has done a documentary on all of this. All right, Amy, where we left off before the break here, I wanted to talk about, some of the cuddling you have done.
Okay.
And you've gone to people's homes, and they've come to you as well, right?
Yes.
You've gone both ways with this. All right. Have you had any crazy, bizarre incidents? Anything that you've said, oh, this is different than I thought it was? Or has everything gone clinically the way you thought it was going to go?
Well, no.
Okay.
No. JT, no. Usually we can tell. I always ask my clients before they book the session. They're able to message us before they book, so they can ask us questions. Most of them want to know what this is about. They're just as concerned about safety as we are. We can pretty much ascertain if they're looking for something more than what we're willing to do.
Sure.
I don't even book with those clients.
Do you get that a lot?
Huh?
Do you get that a lot? People assume it's more than a cuddle?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Now, have you ever had anybody, show up and then, try and take cuddle to the next level?
No, I'm pretty firm in asserting my boundaries up front.
And a cuddle session's an hour long?
It could be an hour, 2 hours, whatever they want, or an overnight.
You have an overnight cuddle session? Wow.
I've had a few of those.
Really?
Yes.
Now, what happens during a cuddle session? They just lay on the couch and you rub their head and their shoulders and you hug on them, and do they tell you their life story? Is this a
sometimes?
Yeah.
It just depends on the comfort level of both of us. My comfort level with them and their comfort level with me. Sometimes we don't even touch. Sometimes it's just about talking and communicating.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Non-physical cuddling.
Well, some people are really shy. They're introverted.
I got to tell you, if you make an appointment with somebody that wants to cuddle and they drive all the way to your place and walk in, you would think the introverts are left out at the door. And at this point, they're like, well, let's get cuddling.
No, actually,
I'm wrong.
They are coming to me because I'm non-threatening. I'm non-judgmental.
Right.
If it's someone, that has trouble dating or might be, overweight, unattractive.
Men only, or do you cuddle women as well?
Well, I've never been asked to cuddle with a woman.
Okay. When married people, single people?
Married and single.
Married and single.
Majority married, though.
Does it matter to you? Do you ask, hey, are you married? Is your wife cool with this? Or is that not a factor in all of this? You look at more of this as a therapeutic thing.
I look at it as a therapy.
Not as a, hey, I'm hanging with
therapy.
Somebody's husband.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, Amy, I got to ask you one more thing. How much is it? Because people are going, I wonder how much all this costs.
It's $60 an hour or $400 for an overnight, which is about 10 to 12 hours.
Okay. Have you ever been scared? Anything weird ever happen?
No.
Okay.
No. These are our clients are all professionals.
Okay. All right, Tracy, let me ask you about your cuddle parties.
Sure.
Similar in that people come to you or you go to them?
We schedule cuddle parties, and the people have to register, so I have to know up front who they are.
All right. You do group cuddle parties, right?
Yes, it's always group cuddle parties.
Okay, so what if Judy, my wife, and I have a couple of friends come over, and would you come cuddle with the four of us?
I could hold a cuddle party with you.
Could
yes.
you really? Mm-hmm. Do we get to eat and drink, or we just get straight to the cuddling?
We have snacks at the cuddle parties.
Can I serve steaks? Would you like to grill out and then cuddle?
That sounds like dinner. That sounds like a date.
Well, listen, I mean, if we're going to be doing an overnight cuddling session, I'd like to at least get you a glass of wine and maybe a steak.
Well, let me tell you the difference between. I love what she does, and I think it's a wonderful service.
Yes.
What Amy does. Ours is a little bit different. It is a boundaries and communication workshop.
So there are guidelines and rules.
There used to be 13 rules. I think they've shortened them to about 10 now. But
come to my house. There's only 3. Well, go ahead.
But like when you get in the room, then you have to sit and listen to the welcome circle, which is how we get comfortable being in a group of strangers.
You play Sade music and light incense. I mean, what goes on during this?
It's really beautiful. I've seen adults become childlike just like that. It's childlike.
Tears start flowing. People break down and cry.
People cry.
Absolutely,
People
that happens
laugh.
with my one-on-ones every time.
A lot.
Well, not every time, but a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I actually had a client recently book a session, and this was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. He had lost his mother that morning.
Wow.
And I asked him, why didn't you cancel? And he said, because I need this.
I need you now more than ever.
And I lost my mom in July, and so I spent that session with that client for 2 hours, and we both, expressed our loss.
Are you married?
No.
Okay. This is just fascinating to me. Tracy, where do people find out more about doing a cuddle party if they're interested?
You can find us on Cuddle Party Birmingham on Facebook.
Okay. And Amy, it's CuddleFix.com, right?
Yes.
And how about you, Jason? You got any more plans to do any cuddling?
Well, yeah.
So you kind of like this, huh?
Well, it's
now. Are you
the
the cuddler or the cuddlee?
Well, that's how it varies. Like what I loved about when I first experienced the cuddle party was how much that you just learn. You learn about relationships, and you learn about how to ask for what you want, and how to say no, that it's okay to say no, and you don't need to provide a reason.
Okay.
So there were just so many valuable things to learn just from going forward.
Well, I really want to thank all of you for coming in this morning. I mean, this is just fascinating to me, something new I've never heard about. And would you mind cuddling with Wade, one of you, on the way out? He could really use a hug this morning.
Sure. I'll give him a big hug.
Yeah, all right. And Jason, they're right behind you. Leah, Lord knows she could use a little hug, huh? All right. Thank y'all. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks.